Hey, everybody. Can you hear me and see me? I hope so. What's up? We got Lila Newton in here, Patty Price. What is she up to now? Sue Evans. She said, hello, David. Where'd it go? Do you ever look for wood? I have some here in North Carolina you can have, not down yet. No, there's plenty of wood around here. Don't really have to look for it very much. I actually get phone calls pretty often from people wanting me to come pick stuff up. So we are waiting for our guest right now. Two old people on the couch having a little bit of technical difficulties with camera or something. So hopefully here pretty soon we'll have those in here. Hey, there they are. All right. Let me pop the link in there. So this is all new to me using the laptop here. But anyways, guys, I've caught wind of some things that's happened since the president made his announcement of his mandate and everything on, companies over 100 employees having to mandate that their employees get the vaccination. And so this has really sparked some concern in a lot of the, country. A lot of companies, trying to figure out, scrambling around, trying to figure out what they're going to do, because a lot of them don't want to force something like this on their employees. And I've been hearing through the pipeline that, truck drivers, this is my biggest concern, is truck drivers. I'm not saying all of them are going to just up and quit their job, but right now we are already running on a very limited number of truck drivers right now, because guys like me that have a ton of experience in the industry, we already got out about a year ago and just said the heck with it because of a lot of the regulations and everything. And now they're putting this on them, and there's a lot of drivers out there threatening to just quit. They're not talking about strike anymore. They're talking about just quitting their jobs. So that raises some concerns, but let me bring in two old people on the couch. I think they're ready. So here they are. What's up, Mark and Dad?
How's it going?
You did
Mark,
even worse.
just shove her out of there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know how to. Let me try a few different ones here. There, that's a little better, I think.
That works good.
So, what do you guys think about all this? The mandate and everything.
Well, I don't like it. Again, I'm not pro-vax or I'm not anti-vax. I just pro-choice. And I don't think they have the right to do it at all myself. And I mean, I wasn't going to get it in the first place, but all this just makes me say I'm not getting it any, that much more.
Yeah. I'm really concerned about what truck drivers are going to do. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that they're going to quit, that they're done. There's just too much, against them, with the ELDs and everything, all the mandates they got to do, all the loopholes they got to, jump through, all the states they go into, customers they walk into, and they're just done with it. And, from my experience, 21 years in the trucking industry, I know they've done research on this stuff, and 3 days of trucks not running is disastrous, to the economy and everything.
15 days of shutdown was disastrous for America. 15 days. America runs on, capitalism.
Just in time.
We got to keep moving along. If you shut down for a second, it hurts this country.
Yep. Well, I was hoping Off the Wall Prepper would be in here, but I don't see him.
Not yet.
I mean, the word on the street's been that the supply chain has slowed down, and that it was gonna, it was gonna happen. It was gonna get really bad, and I mean, all signs look forward to it getting even worse. And everybody's saying to prep and get ready. They probably had, they were thinking in the right direction.
All right. So earlier, Lila Newton was asking a question. She was asking if illegal immigrants might take the place of the truckers who quit.
Only if they get the vax.
Well, or if they have the skill set.
Well, what I've heard earlier is illegal immigrants are not subject to the requirements. That's what I heard just a little bit ago.
I gave up my CDL because it was looking more like my truck size and everything was getting below a CDL license. And it was just too hard. You had to go, instead of just walking down, getting a picture, and you're done like everybody else, you have to go in there, have your license attached to the CDL license, and have to, have all this paperwork, and you had to sit at the DMV for hours to get it passed. And I was like, I probably won't drive a truck anymore. So they just make everything, the government makes everything way too hard.
Yeah. Like I have my hazmat, I have my tanker endorsement, so the X endorsement. Pretty much I can drive anything, haul anything. And the amount of stuff I got to go through to have that hazmat and everything on there is just insane. I mean, pretty much you could take off almost a month from work just to go and run around and do all the background checks, fingerprinting, and all that kind of stuff. It's a huge hassle just to, every year you have about a month off of work just to run around and get all this stuff done because, you take off work, you got to drive across several states to go to your home state, go, take care of all this stuff. It's too much. And then they're putting the ELD mandates on them.
Yeah, and you know how it is. You get home, a lot of truckers, you're out on the road forever. The last thing you want to do is have to deal with all. You want to get home and enjoy your family for a day or two before you hit back out for 3 weeks. And it's just, it's nuts balls.
What is she up to now? Says, this custom shop, who do you want to come up? Well, I'm wanting off the wall prepper to come up. They were supposed to be on here on this live, but don't see them in there.
The truckers kind of hit.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the truckers also are used to must be mandated and all that. And, the DEF fluid was the same thing. The DEF fluid was just a bunch of lobbyists that said, hey, push this. We'll sell it. We'll make millions of dollars and require truckers that, diesels to have it or they can't run. And it's all just a joke to just make everybody pay more and line somebody's pocket.
Hello, Bushcraft family. Welcome to the show. We've got, 21 people in here. I have no idea how many thumbs up, but 21 is pretty good for me. So have you guys tried out the Alexa softball?
Oh yeah. What do you want us to ask it?
Oh man. I don't know. Do you think this new mandate will be overturned?
Not by the administration, no. But governors, maybe. That's what it said here.
Yeah. There are governors that are not. We have that going for us here in Oklahoma anyway.
Yeah, I seen there was like Oklahoma, Missouri. I heard at least those two. That's all I really paid attention to. But yeah, there's several of them.
There's quite
Kansas
a few.
was not one of them, but a lot of them in the middle of the country were going to fight it.
I feel like it's, it's there's no way that can be constitutional. It feels like, I mean, I don't know. For them to tell me I have to get that shot just drives me insane. Looks like we got off the wall prepper coming in. There we go. Let's bring him in. All right.
Hey, everybody.
Let's see if I can get this figured out here.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Oh, what happened?
Invisible man.
I'm here. I'm here. I just turned off my camera for a minute until I could get coffee and all that good stuff. But I told you I'd be here.
Okay.
No, it's a beautiful day in the Ozarks, but I heard your topic starting and I was like, I wanted to get in here real quick. So until I take the dogs in, so I can get my coffee and my glasses so I can see everyone. But yeah, I need coffee.
You're the one.
It's been a long day. I
really
didn't know
needed in here.
I seen what you
out there in the
I
thick
seen
of
what
it.
you put on. Well, yeah, and not only that, I mean, I've one of my videos that I did when my video thing first started with the trucking, it was because I was out in the field and there's a huge lot and it's basically a transfer lot. And so every morning that thing is, jam packed. I stop there, get coffee or get a sandwich or whatever. And I talked to a lot of them. There was 2 trucks. That's it. And no trailers. Usually they'll drop their trailer. It's not a actual yard, but that's what they use it for. And there was 2. That's it. And I was like, what's going on? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, there's nobody really on the highway. And I just drove 30 miles and I hardly seen any semis. I seen a FedEx one. And that's kind of what started me like investigating and looking into it. But I heard you all saying about that, illegals would take the position. That's not where we're headed with this. I mean, I know this might be a deep conversation for a lot of people, but right now out in Arizona, they're testing a highway that's basically for semis only, and there's no drivers. Follow me? It's AI.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's AI.
Yes, that's where we're going with everything.
Well, and it's already been discussed in our present administration, as well as what they're trying to march in on us, that by 2025, 30 to 35% of the workforce will not be needed.
Mm-hmm. I've got a kind of a theory on that too. And if you see some of the videos of these robots nowadays, it's amazing. They can snake up poles. They can do. They have a robot that can do everything. And the thing I always say is, once the elite have robots that can make robots, that and they have the power supply and the battery and the lithiums and all that stuff, they don't need us. They can get rid of us. And I'm not saying AI is going to take over like a Borg or anything like that. All I'm saying is, but a robot does what it's told. So once they can make robots to do whatever they want, to do all their dirty work for them, they don't need us anymore. And once the robots can make robots, for sure, they don't need and fix robots. They don't need us anymore.
Well, and then here's the other problem. And people, I don't know what part of the country you folks are in, but I know that Hood's Custom Shop, you're over here by Joplin, and people are starting to see, oh, this is not there. We're having this shortage in our grocery store, or this shortage at the wherever. Well, in the ports, usually there's 0 to 1 cargo ship. Now, because of what happened last year, of course, they're stacking those ships heavier and bigger. Okay, that's number 1. But number 2 is usually there's 0 to 1. Last week in one of our biggest ports, which is Long Beach, California, there was 44 cargo ships waiting. Okay, there was semi truck drivers waiting And then I interviewed a grocer, and he told me, I said, people think you guys are holding back the groceries. And he's like, no, we're not. He goes, we have been a little panicked because our loads have been anywhere from 30 to 50% shorter than what they're supposed to be. And he said 1 week it'll be meat, then it'll be vegetables. And he goes, it's like a snowball effect. It's all over the board, but their trucks are being shorted. So, we have a big supply chain issue. And of course, that's going to happen with how they slowed everything down last year. But I don't know. It's kind of strange to me that, they've cut off unemployment and they've done all these different things, but yet the workforce isn't there, but yet they're saying that we have more people back to work than we ever had before. So like I said before, it's chaos from all different directions. And I think we're headed for a very rough fall and winter. However you chop it up, literally, we're just headed for something that we probably have never imagined or seen in our lifetime.
Yeah. August was bad. September is going to be even worse. And so on. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then,
I kind of feel like they're pushing in the self-driving trucks.
Well, and also Tesla, you need to look up about the history of Tesla and who's behind it and all that good stuff. But their vehicles are under investigation now. I think it's the TFA that's investigating, or NHTS. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have notes on it. But every time a Tesla vehicle goes by an emergency vehicle, it's either having a close call or wrecking into. That's kind of strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then especially, I'm not going to get into the politics of it because I don't want to go there. But if you look who's behind it, you'll be like, wow. So there's some very significant people in the White House that are involved in Tesla. So it's all the chaos and the confusion is to get people divided even more. And then with these mandates running down our throats, it's even, yes, when I put out that other video on the truckers yesterday, I got so many emails and I had people commenting on my other video, and that other video has had like 60,000 views now. And so I've been looking at what people are telling me, and these are long haul truckers that are telling me that if this mandate comes down the pipe, man, you need to do something with those roosters. But they're saying if it's coming down the pipe, everybody's going to have to draw their own line because, I don't know what's coming for me either because of the position that I have, because I deal with so many medical centers and hospitals. But we're all going to have to draw a line with, within our own selves, with our friends and our family, and what we have to do that's best for us. That's the thing. And we're all going to have to decide that on an individual basis. And no matter what that decision is, we can only hope and pray for the best.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, definitely.
So what kind of preps? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Debbie, whenever all this madness started, it just, back last year, even before they started doing the shutdowns and everything, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, we got to prep. We've got all kind of dehydrated food, water, enough to last us a long time. It was weird because I didn't really have that sense of urgency, but Debbie has from the beginning, and just like she's been concerned even before. I don't know if it was God, directing her, but it was like things are going to get bad. We need supply, and sure looks like we might someday here soon.
Yeah. I've been sitting here wondering what all do I need? How much am I just going to have to prep, if the trucks do shut down? I've got a lot of friends out there who drive trucks, and honestly, some of them, are owner operators, and they're considering shutting down their trucks because the money just isn't there right now for what they are able to do. And it's getting too tough. And, they're having a hard time making a living. So they are they're against all of this stuff. They have so much against them, and they're just about ready to give up.
If you just
if they shut down, how long?
if you just pull your truck into a shop, I mean, it's going to be no little than, probably $1,500 to $2,000 to fix whatever little thing it is. That's a limit right there. You go in through their doors. That's a lot of money and that's just to get in the door and start looking at your truck,
I had to get it.
You blow out
Mm-hmm.
you blow out a tire on a semi truck, you're looking at about $800 to get a tire replaced. And what does a load pay? I mean, let's just say, for instance, when I was in the oil field, some of the best paying loads I had were $200 and something a load, and that is a short haul load that's going to take you about 2 hours to do. All right, and you can only do so many of those in a day, and that truck needs to make $800 to $1,000 a day revenue in order to pay for all of your overhead and everything.
Yeah,
and then try to keep up with maintenance and stuff, mishaps that happen. So it's really rough. And then they put all these mandates on them, the ELD, that really, really limits what they can do in a day. If they go by their ELD, I know a lot of times I would be at the end of my shift, and I may have only gotten 2 or 3 loads done that day because of, various things happening or whatever that limited my day. And now they're wanting to say, now you got to get a shot that, could actually make you sick. They don't want to sit there and say, consult with your healthcare provider. I don't understand why they think they can do that. But the simple fact of the matter is the truck drivers will end up shutting down that refuse to get this. So then the rest of America is going to hurt. It's going to shut down the economy. It's sad. But I mean, what are we to do?
I don't blame the truckers at all either. It's not their fault. And they might actually end up saving if they do shut down, then that, people will freak out if they're not getting their goods. And that might be what it takes to actually wake people up to the madness going on. Just say, look, we got a 99.9 some % chance of surviving here. Let's just get back to normal. And I want to at least eat. I would rather, not die of starvation than die of, CV.
Well, I think the sad thing is, and I'm not a doom and gloom type prepper person, okay? But I never imagined in my life that I would be looking at bug out locations. And I started this about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago, because I'm like, the technology and the things that they can do is tipping over the edge. It's tipping over the edge. And AI is very scary. I mean, I just did a big thing on AI that I haven't broadcasted yet, but there's some things going on with AI that's baffling the programmers. And everybody, you can sit next to someone face to face and tell them something that happened to you or this or that, and they are going to go and Google it or talk to Alexa or Siri to see if you're really telling the truth. And those instruments, and the instrument we hold in our hand right now to do these live streams, it has invaded our whole lives. It's almost made people, and especially younger people, become like they're living in this bubble of virtual reality. And, the reality is real people that you can reach out to and get them to understand that preppers are not crazy. It's not just about prepping for like a SHTF. It's about prepping if we have an extreme weather condition, a blizzard. I mean, I was in a couple really bad blizzards when I had my farm up in Nebraska. So, you have to prepare, and you have to keep preparing.
Yeah, I didn't think about it too much, but I tried to keep enough water for us to last 6 months in the house and keep rotating it. Well, Last winter, we were without water running to our house for a week. And because when the cold weather hit, our water company went down because they did rolling blackouts and we didn't have water to our house. Now, luckily, there was a snowstorm at the same time. So we caught the water off the house to flush the toilet, and I had plenty of drinking water and everything, but it caught people off guard. Yeah. People didn't know what to do. And I was like, well, if anybody needs water, just holler.
Right. Right. And there's a lot of ways, to the one thing is that there's still pathogens in that water. So two old people on a couch, you need to make sure that you have some way to get rid of those pathogens.
Yes, absolutely.
And a very cheap, inexpensive way for everybody is to get a bottle of old-fashioned iodine. It's 3 drops to a quart of water.
Oh, okay. We just used the water off the house to flush the toilet, though.
Right, but but what if?
Right.
Yeah, if it came down to it, yes.
And also, what if, if the water, I don't know what state are y'all in?
Oklahoma.
Okay. What if that water or the electricity goes down and we are bleeped out and have no water and electricity for an extended period of time? First of all, the National Guard nor the government are going to be able to help if it was a catastrophic situation.
Oh, yeah.
So people have to figure it out. And, our ancestors put that in our spirits. God put it in our spirits, but our ancestors put it into our blood. That's the whole reason they came here. And I remember my grandma, she could not cook worth a darn, but I'll tell you what, she had a green thumb. She could plant something. People would be blown away what she could plant in Nebraska, and it would just grow crazy. And myself and Dragonflies, we wanted to start a garden, but as you know, in the Ozarks, it's very rocky. And this is how much God intervenes in things. If you, just like in the Bible, if you plant the seed, it grows, same thing. If you plant that seed in some dirt, in a bucket in the Ozarks, it will grow. We had weeds like 4 foot tall because I've been working like overtime with the medical industry that I'm in. And those weeds were like 4 feet tall. She goes, "Can you please go mow them?" I'm like, "Yeah." Lo and behold, we had tomatoes, strawberries, squash, and radishes from a neglected garden. So, seeds are very, very important.
Yes.
God does the rest with the sunshine and the rain. But if you plant that seed,
Not if she plants it.
Not if I plant it.
Well, you'd be surprised. Just plant it and walk away from it and leave it alone for a while.
That's what I do. It dies. I'm horrible. I try.
We were shocked. Actually, I was really shocked, but we have very nice strawberry plants right now. And I was out there hand picking them like when my grandmother used to have this huge strawberry patch, and I'd always get in trouble because I'd be the kid down there picking them all, getting chigger bites everywhere and whining at night that I was bit up, but I'd be eating the strawberries right off the bush, right out of there. So I was pretty happy when I seen them in those barrels. And yes, I did pick them and started eating them. Some habits you never get rid of, even as a grown up, as you grow up and get older.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now my dad can always grow a garden, but I look at it now that there's just, this is not bad. This is bad because we should be prepping, but prices are going up. But in my opinion, like I can go used to get a can of corn for like 25 cents. It would cost me like, for just myself and my wife, it would cost a lot more just to plant it, plow it, do all that work, and it'd probably be 25 cents a can once I was done. But that doesn't help us if the grocery store doesn't have them.
Right. Well, and I think everybody needs to be prepared with some long-term food storage. Yeah. And rotate it out, just like you were saying, ma'am, rotate that food out. And that's what we do. Like, we usually spend $200 for 2 of us a month for food. But like this last few months, we have doubled and went 2.5 times because I've been buying dehydrated food. Freeze-dried food, because Dragonflies dehydrates all kinds of stuff. And when you dehydrate it, shrinks it down so much that you can put you have way more room capacity to store stuff. And all you do is rehydrate it. And I mean, I was surprised. I was like, I don't want to eat those vegetables looking like that. And then, if you put water in them, I'm like, oh, okay. And I mean, I've learned a lot over the years, even being military, it was more get out on the ground and go and do stuff. And now I'm looking at it from all different aspects, the prepping life and the prepping community. I've been prepping most of my life because of where I grew up and how I grew up. So
she's got at least.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say she has at least a year's worth of dehydrated food, all those buckets and stuff. And we even tried the $20 48-hour for 4 buckets at Walmart. And we sampled one and put it up on it. We made videos on it.
Yeah. And not everyone not everyone has the financial availability to go and just prep. Right. And I've been doing a series on my channel called Prepping on the Cheap. And it really is toward people that are on a limited budget, on disability, and how you can recycle things around your home without having to go buy anything to provide a prep for yourself and your family.
Yeah, gotcha. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've really been enjoying doing that. I think I'm on part 4, getting ready to put out part 5 this week.
And check that out.
And being able to grow your own food is probably the most important thing that you can absolutely do, because eventually you will need to reproduce your food if nobody's bringing it to you.
Yeah. Well, and I think most people that are like-minded have some capability of either knowing how to fish, knowing how to hunt, one of those knowing how to trap, and one of those things can be an awesome prep. You just got to make sure that you have, line or whatever. If you don't have line, I mean, you can even use a pop bottle, a can tab to make a fishing line. So, I mean, there's a lot of interesting ways you can do things. And that's why I named myself Off the Wall, out of the box, think about things from a different aspect, But I don't know. I think that we're going to have a long winter. I think that the promise from our current administration is coming quickly at us. And if you're not prepared now, I think you better get your house in order, first of all, spiritually. They've had a psych op on us for the last year and a half. Everywhere we turn, there's some kind of different chaos going on. And like even the medical information that we get and everything, it's this opinion. And then 3 days later, no, it's this. And when that starts happening, it confuses people in the masses. And that's a huge issue, because if you create mental anguish with people and division with people, it's easier to conquer them. And then making people hungry, they won't have to force anybody to go into a camp. But people that are starving, that have no means, no idea how to survive on their own without government assistance, will walk if they can walk that far. They will walk. They'll rush in.
Yeah.
There's too many people that are very, very dependent on different programs that a lot of countries don't have. There's so many countries, like when I travel to Jamaica, there's people starving over there, and also in Haiti, and there is no assistance. That they don't come in and give you, if it wasn't for the Americans, the people in Haiti would probably starve to death a lot of the time that they've had major catastrophes. But we have too many people dependent on these systems, and that's why they will line up to get this. They'll line up to do it, especially if you're going to get cut off. They're drawing the line in front of us. And like I said before, it's going to take a lot of people that are going to have to really take a hard, long look at yourself and your family and your financials and everything else and say, can I really stay on the line? Do I really want to stay on the line? Can I do this for myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always say right now we're bugging in.
Yeah. Well,
but because I don't know, we're old, we're two old people. It's like, I know the younger people will have an urge to really survive, which is great. That's what, our instincts do.
You don't look that old.
I'm just saying, it's like, I don't want to live in the woods or something, and struggle we've got our supplies here. We're going to sit on the front porch, eat some popcorn, watch the mayhem, and hopefully we come out the other side. But,
right. And I think that's most people's dream. I mean, I don't want to bug out.
Yeah.
I don't want to bug out. I would rather bug in because
me too.
Because even though I have locations to bug out to, and there is, like bunker, I'll put it that way. You can check out my channel on that. I just shared some information about it, but I would rather bug in because that's familiar to me.
Yeah.
And that I can still keep some kind of routine, even if I would have to do something different. Now, our situation is a little different. First of all, when a sheriff and a fire truck cannot find you, you know that you're pretty much off grid. The only thing that keeps us really on grid here is our electric and this phone that's in my hand. So, I mean, that makes me feel a little better. But the other thing is we're like right in the open, on top of a beautiful hill. We sit on 120 acres. We own 5 of it, but no one can move around us. And then on top of that, if you go past the 120, you're into the Mark Twain National Forest. So I've been trying to learn my way around those forests because you can get very easily confused. And I have went out there and got confused and been like, even being ex-military, it's still very easy to do because you don't have any landmarks.
Yeah, you get on top of those mountain ridges and you think you're walking across it to go down the other side. And if you're at a slight angle, you can easily get going down the same side of the mountain. People don't realize how easy that is, with no landmarks. Once you get on top of a ridge and you're walking on the flat for a little while, you can get all disoriented.
Yeah, very much so, especially when you're surrounded by, these trees here in the Ozarks are huge,
Yeah.
And they're thick and the underbrush is thick. And so, but of course I'd rather bug in too.
Yeah.
And I just think the main thing that all of us need to take into consideration is that since last March, it's been, you got to do this, you got to do that. And people have been complying.
They move the goalpost.
Right. And you're exactly right. And so if everybody goes and does this, now they've already came up with a new one that we have to do this in 5 months.
Yeah.
So as those things progress, what is it going to be next? And we have to think about these things because we are in the middle of the most corrupt period of history in the world, not just in our country, because this is happening worldwide, but in the world.
Yeah, I don't want to get Dave in trouble, so I'm not going to go too.
Right, we don't want to go too political, but that question you just posed.
This all started right after the failed impeachment. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but what the question you just posted up there, Hood? It's really important right now while you have the opportunity to go in and talk to your doctor and get them. I just did it for myself. I have a torn meniscus in my knee. I only get 30 days of that anti-inflammatory, and it's the best thing I've came across in like 3-4 years. And it took all the swelling out of my knee. So I went in and asked, and I said, can I get 90 days supply of that? And they're like, yes. And she gave it to me. And I was like, awesome. So, that's really something really important is medicine. But also what's really important in prepping is foraging, learning your area and learning what type of edible, nutritional plants that you can have.
Yes.
And everybody's got these, and it's been done since pioneer days. Dandelions. You can eat dandelions. There's a lot of nutritional. You can make soup out of them. You can make jelly out of them.
Now we got like 1,000 pecans in this area.
Yeah, we do have a lot of pecans.
Yeah, but those are really good for you if you had to eat them
Yes.
You know, dragonflies.
What? That's not the one I tried to put up there.
Oh,
The chat's skipping around on me.
that happened to
can't
me the
even
other
find it
night.
now.
I couldn't keep up for nothing, Dave. I was so far behind, and people were. I was like, I just kind of give. That's why it's
It
really
just
good
suddenly,
now.
like, as soon as I clicked, it jumped.
Yeah, exactly. Ask your doctor for extra. You know, and also, you know, if like just with my knee, I'm on an anti-inflammatory for it. It's for arthritis because I have a loose body behind my kneecap, which like is weird. But when they said loose body, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a little flappier in my age, but that wasn't very nice to say to me, you know. But you, but you know, there's other things I can take for that ailment, you know, for that problem, and that's another thing. Figure out, okay, I have this, and I always have to take it, but what else could I do?
Yes. What is an alternative for an inflammatory thing that is natural, like herb or whatever? And Lila, I think pharmacies can give you a 90-day supply of your medications. They don't give you that. It's usually because of your insurance. So you would have to pay for the extra out of pocket.
And it depends on if it's a controlled
if it's a controlled
narcotic
substance.
Yeah, if it's a controlled substance, then they won't either. But if you talk to your doctor, it's just like dragonflies has some issues with their top teeth. I had to get one pulled down here, and I was like, we've been putting it off. You know, mine was broke. I'm like, I've been putting it off. So I went and got that one pulled, and then they said I needed another one pulled because it was pushing on the other one. So I was like, pull them now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be sitting there with a bottle of whiskey because I don't drink, trying to get my tooth pulled with a pair of pliers. I don't want to do it.
Toothaches.
I mean, no. I mean, honestly, like somebody, I was on Prepper Tribe and Just Josh last night. I was with them, and they were talking about how soft we are now. You know, as Americans, we're really soft people. And yeah, and I mean, there's good and there's bad to that.
Real soft.
Yeah, there's good and there's bad to that. You know, it's good that we are peaceful, that we try to be peaceful. But the bad part is that sometimes you have to bring the warrior out in you, and you have to get rugged, and you have to get it done. No matter if you want to or not, you just got to get at it and do it. And we might be pushing up to those times, people. We really might.
Yeah, just sitting back. I mean, again, I'm not just going to sit back and, you know, I'll be there whenever the calling is there and everything. But the thing that gets me is, boy, you know, the young people have the most power. If, you know, just like they do all the time and they protest at colleges and stuff like that, if the young people resist, boy, that's going to make the people in charge of the globe get a little bit shaky, boy, because young people, they haven't had their fun yet. We had our fun. We got it all out of our system. If this last generation sees what the other generation did to have fun, boy, they're going to be hungry to have the same fun and all the nice things that we had. And it comes down to them. If they wake up and start going, hey, this all looks really fishy, you know, and they wake up, boy, you know, the world powers are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know what state it was, but you know what? There's a lot of kids, young, and I call them kids, but these were high schoolers that are awake. Yeah. And I was like, I was so excited. I get excited when I see that a group wakes up. And what happened is they went to go into the school.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
And the administrators were holding them out, like literally standing in front of them, would not let them go in without putting on the face diaper. And the parents were out there telling them, no, do not get physical, do not get upset, keep a level head, keep calm, because it's a mandate, it's not a law.
Yep.
And the administrator literally stood there in the doorway, and they kept talking, and finally the administrator, looking at, I think there was probably 100 or more kids there, and parents gave up the fight and moved to the side, and the kids were like, yes.
I saw that clip.
Yeah, it was powerful. It was powerful.
Yeah, it made me go, that's what it is right there. That's what's going to do it. Not us. It's the kids that, I don't want to put them in that situation. High school kids are getting pretty old. They know what they're, they're still knuckleheads, but they know what they're doing. It's up to them to say, and it's hard for the administration to back down to kids. They get all beefy with the parents and stuff like that. But, they're there to serve the kids. And whenever the kids say, no, we're not going to we're not taking it anymore. We want to go back. We're not being affected by this. We're young. Everybody's surviving it, that is our age. Oh, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to go right in. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
So Patty Price said something about worrying about getting her oxygen. That definitely is a really hard one. Because right now, from what I understand, hospitals are even struggling, and they are making their own oxygen, and they're, with pumping this oxygen into patients, they're struggling too. So, yeah,
well,
that's a tough one.
There's a few things that she can do, and she can do some research about it. But pro athletes use this thing, and it's a can. It's about yay big, and it actually has the cover that goes over your face, and then you press it like an asthma inhaler, but it's not steroids, it's oxygen. And so, like if say a football team's traveling from Denver to sea level, well, that's hard on them oxygen wise, so they use this to gain that extra oxygen. So that's one idea. The second idea is there is a small bottle. I showed it in my first aid video. It's called 40,000 volts, and it's liquid oxygen. So those are some things that you should have in your preps and your first aid kit, just as an emergency. Just, especially you, Dave, with your asthma issue, if you couldn't get an inhaler and you couldn't, or a nebulizer, those two things could help you immensely. And it might help you to do it now. And get that bottle of 40,000 volts. You drop a couple of it in your water and start drinking that. And that will help clear up your lungs. Also, if you're able to swimming helps with asthma and air passage problems. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm giving suggestions of what you could do to help yourself.
I'm seeing Patty's comment right there, and our neighbors, she's on oxygen, and he's not the most mechanically minded guy, and so whenever our power goes out, I get my generator going, and so we're good, so I can give them an extension cord, but I immediately go over to their house and start their generator and make sure it gets going. It was really tough because it was like minus 10 degrees the last time. I got their generator going, but it was close. But luckily mine, I got started right away. So I tell my neighbor, listen, because it's like battery operated for a while. So if it came closer, we would just, get her power over there. But like you said, I don't know how you're going to do it, Patty, but generator backup, maybe some kind of I don't know. And they do. It's expensive. It's all expensive. So I don't know,
But they also make a smaller oxygen machine that's battery packed too, and that might be an idea. And always have those batteries charged up in case of an electrical outage. And I don't know, that's a very difficult situation when you actually really need it to be able to breathe correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think the best thing is if you can, if you could invest a little bit into a solar system, and
to charge
inverter
instead of a generator, because because I mean the generator, if electricity goes down for an extended period of time, the gas pumps aren't going to be pumping.
Yeah.
So,
then not two old Harbor Freight solar kits, and one of their batteries, it's only like 4 solar panels is only 100, but nowadays, boy, even Harbor Freight has a $99 100-watt one panel, and I gotta expand a little bit more on the solar just for whenever we have power outages. Now it's not going to run, a lot of stuff, but the essentials that I need to get a couple more 100 watts just to be able to get by each day without running the generator.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of when you really start talking about prepping, people were like dumbfounded how much medical and first aid that we have. But like, if you make it a way of life and you just keep accumulating little things here and there, we still have things on our list that we have not gotten. And we just try to do something every week, every month. And sometimes those preps are handmade and cheap, and sometimes they're free. Like our neighbor gave us, before they left to go to Massachusetts, they lived on the far back of the 120, and they gave us a 275-gallon polyurethane tank. Just gave it to me. And you think I wasn't back there with my truck picking it up? I sure was, real quick. I sure was. And now we use that just as a runoff tank. So it sits out by our shop, and it's a runoff. I just take the lid off, and we collect rainwater, and that sucker's almost full. And then I put the lid on to keep mosquitoes and stuff out of it. I do have treatment for the tank, so if I have to drink it, I could do that. But I can drink out of a mud puddle. I mean, I have a couple different ways I can drink out of a horse trough. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we can even ask Dave. I mean, Dave will tell you, he's got probably the super essentials. Whenever a hatchet, an axe, a tree saw. I mean, you can elaborate, Dave, on probably what all you have that doesn't run on power.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky that I don't have some of the severe medical issues that a lot of other people, like what's in this chat here, have. And so I'm glad you guys are putting these comments up there, asking these questions on some issues you may be having. And while we have these guys here who, have been prepping for a long time, that can give you some ideas. I know some of them might be expensive and be maybe a little out of reach, but it is a goal to, work towards. And, I guess the first thing in prepping is to identify issues that could arise in your situation.
Yeah, because definitely, I mean, everybody's situation's different. Like I'm trying to quit smoking, and so I vape, but I don't really like vaping. But so I got nicotine lozenge tablets, even though I hate them. I tried them. I absolutely hate them. They taste disgusting. I was like, this would probably really make me quit smoking quick because, well, I weaned myself off of regular cigarettes, which has 10,000 plus chemicals in it, to a water tobacco cigarette, which is like what our grandparents and great grandparents smoked, like smoking out of a pipe, like Prince Albert. And it's a lot more expensive, but I smoke a lot less. And then, so that everybody has, a bad habit or something that they need to work on to get healthier. And that's mine, that's mine. Yeah. And when my stress level goes up,
we all have our vices.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I don't drink, but we have a bartering bar. We have a bar to barter. Like we have full bottles, of liquor for several other reasons. It's good.
Where do you live?
I can't tell you, buddy. I can't tell
you. You can barter with us.
But but I mean that it's important to think a little bit about that too. About if the way the truckers and the shipping the cargo ships, what's happening with those, if we had a total meltdown on the supply side, which we've all seen stuff happening, but if we had a total meltdown, what do you have? What could you do to keep going? And so we got liquor. Now, actually, I got 2 full bottles because I confiscated them off of bad campers 2 years ago before we got laid off from the campground because they thought they were going to sneak into the campground and tear it up. And so I confiscated everything they had, and I didn't give them back their liquor. And then I realized it after I gave them all their stuff and sent them on their way.
Well, down in Australia, they're already quarantining, the people, I don't know if it's just in the quarantine camps or all of the people in lockdown, but they can only get like stuff delivered to them, and they're going in their bags and looking to see, they're rationing their alcohol to like 6 beers or 1 bottle of wine or something like that. It's really, I mean, it's nuts balls that they're just starting to, ration, the people that are stuck in their houses down there. I mean, not that you can't survive without alcohol. I mean, but it's just like every day they're taking away your freedom. And it's almost, anything that's fun, it's like, that seems to be the target these days is it fun? Do you like to travel? You like to go on vacation? Nah, we're going to make that difficult. We're going to jack up gas prices. And you would like to build on, make an addition to your house? No, we're going to jack the price out of lumber. It's like anything that makes us happier or freer or more independent, they're making it harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, very, very much so. But, I think that the main thing is for everyone to like sit down and make a list of, think about different scenarios. I mean, let's talk extreme weather just for a minute. Okay. Extreme weather, blizzard, and you can't get out. The power fails, the water freezes, you do not have a fireplace. What do? These are things that you have to set and kind of do scenarios through your head and go, okay, I would need this. The best blanket you could ever get is a wool blanket. I'll tell you what, when I was in the military, they will keep you warm, toasty warm as a wool blanket. And you can pick them up at thrift stores for super cheap.
Those, and we have
are states on lockdown. I don't think there's no states on lockdown.
Not
over in
that I've heard
Australia.
of.
No,
down in Australia. Australia. But we have a Sub-Zero,
sleeping
bag. Man, that thing is awesome.
Yeah, we don't.
But you got to have
this thing, and I don't think you can get them anymore. Is the old moving blankets were like, those thick old moving blankets. Holy crap! I used to have those when I would go camping, and I would lay one underneath me and one over top of my sleeping bag. Man, I mean, they don't make them that thick anymore, but those things were awesome.
Well, and no matter what, really, it boils down to the 3. It really boils down. Well, I'll add my 4th. I have to have my Bible first. I have to have water. I have to have food. And I either have to know how to cool myself off or how to warm myself up. And your feet, your ears, and your nose are really important in extreme cold, period. Especially your feet. If your feet get messed up, I learned this in the Navy, have extra socks, find some of the thickest socks you can get, and make sure that you have a comfortable shoe, that be it a shoe or a boot. Your feet are very important because if you have to walk somewhere, the last thing you want to do is have your feet hurting, with blisters, so get foot powder, shoes, good socks. Those things are really important. And some people don't think about the basics of prepping, and those are the basics. You got to be able to have water to survive. You got to be able to have food to survive, and you got to be able to either cool your body off or warm yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys, I know you were in the Navy, but I was in the Air Force, and we were a mobile unit, like a MASH unit, but we did communications. So we had our sea bag or rucksacks or sea bags full of, our chem gear and our cold weather gear, because we might get deployed anywhere. But man, the muckalucks, boy, the Parkas, man, they had some of the best cold weather, and their long johns were super thick. Everything that the military gave, boy, they're protected your hands and feet really good.
Yeah, well, and the muckalucks that you just talked about, they're like, you can actually make those out of leaves, newspapers, trash bags. There's a lot of different ways, and I'm sure you can expand on that from your experience as well.
I can't. All you know is whatever they gave us in the military was awesome. Like you say, we had the wool sweater was my favorite. My wool sweater. they had like a green sleeping shirt that was like a long john, but it was green. I don't know what it was, but it was like a turtleneck for sleeping in your sleep. I don't know. Whatever they did, they had it all figured out because we might go some places that don't have all the necessities. So I still have a lot of that stuff, and some of it doesn't fit me anymore, but I still try to fit in the long johns. So they're getting kind of tight.
Where are we at in the chat? I was trying to, you check this out, Dave. I'm going to send you something and see. It'll probably be the first time you ever get one.
Do what?
Lila had a good point. Those Mylar tinfoil looking blankets. They say if you put those Mylar, anything underneath you that will keep you warm. It's what's underneath you that's just as much as important, if not more important. And they say just putting that little Mylar tinfoil, ups, your heat reflection like 20% or something like that. So stuff like that. And the more you learn about that stuff.
She's on it.
Yeah.
She's on it. That's a good thing.
And they're small. They don't take much, but camping with Steve, Steve Wallace. He goes and he camps in places where you're not allowed to, like, in urban areas or like in woods right behind the police department, just weird, wacky places. And he likes to pack light and small. And he gave good advice on all that kind of stuff too. Like, I had this little foam pad that I put underneath me, or, because he sleeps in a hammock. He's like, boy, if you don't have this underneath you, you're going to freeze to death. So he's funny, by the way, too. Steve Wallace. I highly recommend his channel, man. That dude is. Has anybody ever seen Steve Wallace? Look him up.
I think I have,
dude, and he's hilarious. He could talk about, and he'll be laughing at what he says, and he always starts setting up his camp. He goes, first step, lay out your tent and all this, and then step 2 is drinking a beer. And then he goes, then now do this. Now repeat back. I mean, the guy can turn just walking through the woods funny. I don't even know how he does it. But Steve Wallace, I highly recommend.
Right. And I mean,
check that out.
There's a lot of information. I'm one of those people. I like to have an old-fashioned book in my hand, because if there was a serious situation where the internet went down or electricity or whatever, at least I would have a book that I could read. And I think those books is something else that are starting to disappear and change, because that's what's set in motion.
He's that young Trap Lines and Inlines is a young feller. He traps in the wintertime, but he's been building his off-grid cabin and stuff like that. And he loves books. Yeah,
there's a lot of in this
17, and he's been reading Log Cabin, how to build a log cabin, just stuff like that. He's fascinated by it and reading it, and he wants to learn it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the Ozarks that live basically off grid, and a lot of people come to the Ozarks thinking that they're going to homestead off the land, but they don't realize that the soil isn't rich enough to just do that. You have to really take care of the soil before you're able to do that. So there's a lot of obstacles for homesteading in the Ozarks. There's a lot of. Oh, it's gorgeous. I mean,
probably a lot like Jason Crocker's land. It's nothing but rocks up there.
Yeah, and it's the same in our area. I mow the lawn, and it's like a rock battle out there. But I think the main thing, and I appreciate you having me on here, Hood. I'm gonna have to get off shortly because I need to run to town before 7:00. But I think the main thing that everybody needs to stay focused on is not the chaos that's going on around us, but the positive energy that is coming from this community, from like-minded people, from spiritual people, Christian people, and gather around those people and turn off the negativity, turn it off, because that is a psych op on all of us. And when you can psychologically rent space in someone's head, you're causing a lot of damage to that person. It's kind of like if myself and Dave got in an argument, and Dave gets over it and he goes about his business, but I'm still upset about it. he's renting space in my head, and it's causing me issues spiritually and physically. So it's very important not to get caught up in the chaos around the world, because we have a lot of false flags popping up. We have a lot of people panicking. And, you know, go back to your Bible. The most important thing is to get up every single day, take a deep breath of fresh air, go out and look at the sunset or the sunrise every day, and thank God for another day that you're here, and that hopefully your message here on YouTube can reach one person. If you can do that and you can accomplish that every day, that one person it's like a snowball effect, because if we can affect one, and you folks can affect one, and Hood can, think of what that turns into. It turns into a movement of positivity, of goodness, and goodness will prevail over all the evil that's going on right now. It's written in the book of Revelation. It's written in the book, and it will happen. It will happen.
That's what we do. We try to say, man, if we can, nobody's going to watch us. We're just old people. We're never going to be more than 1,000 some subscribers with 100 people watch or something like that. But we always say, if we can just, we like to give out the news in a fun way. It's so maddening out there that it's funny. Don't take it serious. Here's what's up. Here's what we think. You know, we can't, like you say, change it on our own. We can't stress about it, but we can just say, hey, this is what's going on. It's crazy out there. You know, and that's all we try to do is if we can affect,
have some fun.
Yeah, have some fun. And if we can wake up one or two people, and we say, don't take our word. I mean, we might be nuts, you know, we're like, just after you listen to us, do your own research on it and come up with your own conclusion. You know, that's all.
Right. But you just made the same point. You're doing the same thing. You're spreading some sunshine, some light of the situation. And that's really important right now. It really is. Yeah. You know, we have become too critical and judgmental of other people. If you don't, you know, we got division after division, and we need to stop the division and come together as one, Americans, two, as humanity, and three, just as decent, downright people. Period.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to take us serious. We got the all-knowing softball right here, and what we do is.
Is that like the old 8-ball where you shake it up?
Yes.
Yeah, and it tells us what's going on. But we started because things were so obvious of what they were planning to do that whenever so I think it wakes people up, because we go, oh, you know, this is going to happen next. And then sure enough, it happens next. And then people might say, those two old crazy people on a couch, they said it was going to happen
with the softball
just to make it funnier. You know what I mean? Like, they might tell somebody, like, people are, you know, with not a glowing ball or a glass, you know, official looking thing. It's just a softball, people. It's just a softball.
That's funny. Well, y'all, I need to get off. I need to get off here, Hood. I appreciate you having me on here. I will definitely check out y'all's channel. I'm going to go sub to it right now. It's nice. It's nice to be around a positive community of people, and y'all, we need to set that example in the community. Try to take away the fear mongering and
I said to you earlier today. So,
well, thank you very much. And I just posted a video, kind of patriotic, and I listened to a song, and I got rights to play the song, and so I did a video to it and lined up all and. Like, it almost made me just like shed a tear, because I'm a very patriotic person, and today is the 20th year anniversary. You know, we lost Americans on our own soil for something that could have been prevented, in my opinion, and we just have to hope for strength and for God to stay in our country. And God bless America. You know,
yeah, there's a lot of, I don't care what people say. There's demonic evil out there, and it's strong, you know, but we're just as strong and everything. Yeah. But, you know, you can't, you know, whenever you were younger and you heard like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, you were like, you know, that's, you know, that might be, but whatever, you know, and the older you get.
Thank you, On a Mission for Truth. We'll do it again. I'm in. You know what we can do is next time we'll come to my channel for a live, and then or your all's channel, and then we'll go to my channel and we'll do like just rotate around. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
And see if on our own channel we can get another guest so we can have 4. You know, it'll be fun. So let's do it. I'm in. Are y'all in?
Oh, we're
Okay.
in.
We're in.
My phone is down to 7%. I have to go to town.
The
old, before I bleep out, I truly enjoyed being here. God bless from the Ozarks. God bless every one of you, and everybody stay safe. Stay safe and healthy.
Softball says it's going to happen.
Amen. All right. I'll see you all next Saturday then for a live. We'll go to your channel.
Yeah.
We'll go to your
we can
channel.
go to your channel first.
No.
We can do your channel. We don't do very many lives.
We'll fight over it. We'll talk about it later.
We're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
All right. God bless y'all. Bye. Bye, Dave. Talk to y'all later.
All right. We'll see you. Well, that was awesome having them on there.
Yeah, if we can get people to watch us, that's great. But we're not in it for the money or anything like that. We're just having a ball, just sitting on the couch, putting a show together. And it's also, I like to document it. So whenever, I've got family members that probably, they don't talk to me anymore and all this stuff like that. So if you document what you think is going to happen and then it happens, then they might not think, it's documented. See, we said that was going to happen and then it happened. So there, it's like, I don't know why we do it, but we just enjoy it. We enjoy the YouTube family. I think we won't stop now. I mean, we get tired. I don't think we'll stop because our YouTube family is great. And we try to get around and watch as many people as we can, but you know how it is. It's hard, but man, I know that even if we don't watch some people, we're still part of their family now. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Lila was asking earlier, like, what am I thinking? It's like, man, I think a lot of stuff really fast and just I don't speak it out there quick enough to really say what I think. But I think overall, generally, what I think this right here is one of those things that this too shall pass. And I don't think it's going to be as big a deal.
I think it'll be a short time of a lot of uncomfortable times, but I think it'll be a short time. Yeah.
Overall it will be. This winter could be a little rough. We might hit some rough patches, but you know what? It's not something to get all worked up about and to raise Cain over anything. It's going to pass. And looking forward to the next election. That's all I can say. So
no.
Anyways,
so
go
What
ahead.
all are you prepping for Tuesday? I don't know if you want to tell anybody, but where you're going. But what are you prepping for Tuesday?
Well, Monday I am heading out with Simple Life Reclaim. They're coming down here to pick up my log arch trailer. I'm going to be hauling my sawmill to the 41.36. Nice. And on Tuesday, like Monday, we're going to be basically setting up and everything down there. On Tuesday, we'll be going over to Bobblehead Homestead. It is his birthday on Tuesday, and we're doing a work party, trying to get some things set up to allow for him to move to his new property. He has a bunch of chickens, everything, and he needs to move them with him, and he needs to get everything set up ready for them to be moved. And some other things like some work on the house and stuff. So there's that. And then after spending about a week down there on the 41.36 with Simple Life Reclaim and Country Road Cure, doing some milling for them, I'm planning on going to where Des, the hobo travel nurse, is and helping them with their schoolie conversion. So really exciting stuff going on there. So hopefully the world doesn't end before then.
They'll lock down on Monday, then say, no, you can't go across state lines.
I'll still go. I'll still go, even if they lock down.
I know you will. I know you will. I would too. So far, nobody's walked up to me and said, for my job that I need to get but I'm going to be the one standing up. I'm going to be the one going, no, financially, we have, you know, a lot of savings and stuff. We're in a good position. So, you know, I'll be the first one to say, no, you know, screw you. I don't need to be here. And hopefully people will see what I do and go, yeah, whatever he said, we're doing, you know, we're getting, we're not going to, you know, and again, I don't know how bad it is or anything. It's just principle right now. They done pissed me off, you know, with them always saying it's not going to be mandatory. It's going to solve all the problems, even if 50% get it. Like, the gentleman that was just on, I'm terrible with names. What's his first name?
Off the wall prepper.
Yeah, off the wall prepper. Just like he says, they just keep moving the goal. It never goes back the other way. Like, hey, this is doing better than we thought. This is going to end quicker. You know, their variant or this, and pretty soon it's going to be the climate. I don't even want to say it on your channel because
don't say it.
It's going to be that next, or it's going to be
something else.
The people from the Middle East. I don't want to say that term at all. You know, they're just going to scare us and scare us and scare us, and whatever they're just going to throw it. And whatever sticks. You know, that's what it is, people. And whenever we wake up and say, no, we're not scared of it anymore, and we're not buying your crap anymore, it's over. It's over.
Yep. Well, we have been on for an hour and 16 minutes, so I think we're going to call it.
Jump off.
But I would say, guys, a lot of you have been wondering about when this show happens. It's on Saturday, and I think probably would stick to around 5 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. And next week, I'm probably going to be busy. So you guys, that would probably be a good time for Off the Wall Prepper to bring, you know, maybe 2 old people on a couch on or something in this time slot. So you guys need to make sure you go subscribe to 2 Old People on a Couch and also Off the Wall Prepper and turn on those notifications. And, you know, we'll let them run with this show also. And, so anyways, hope you guys all have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Thanks a lot for having us on, Dave.